Amy from the Virtual Beauty Bar. Today, Lisa and I are joined by the lovely Terrie Mayes, one of our field trainers with Avon. We're going to be talking about Get Ready with Terrie and Terrie's Avon journey. My Avon order might come during this video, so if I dash off, it's just going at my Avon order. So yeah, we're going to be talking about the Get Ready with Terrie segment and discovering how field trainers can help you within your Avon business. So without further ado, Lisa, what is our first question for Terrie?
Well, we've got to start at the beginning, Terrie. So go on then, tell us your Avon story.
Love to. So thank you both so much for having me on your podcast. I'm really, really excited. And before we get into it, I just want to say a huge well done to both of you for what you're working on and what you've pulled together for this channel. I think it's brilliant, and I'm really excited to see what you can do with it in the future. I think it's going to be absolutely fab. But my Avon story started way back when I was really young. I remember when I was probably 3, maybe 4. I used to spend a lot of time with my nan, and she was an Avon representative. And I didn't really know much about Avon or what it was, but what I do remember is that I loved the brochures, and I remember I used to rip them all apart and try and make like paper aeroplanes and things like that out of the brochures. But my favorite thing was the lipstick samples, you know, the really mini ones, because I think when you're really young, that's the coolest thing ever, right? You've got a little tiny lipstick that's almost made for you as a young child. So I always remember that. But my Avon journey now started back in 2020. I was working in a job that I didn't really enjoy. It was long hours, late nights, really, really unsociable, and I really didn't enjoy it. And I remember looking on, like you do on like LinkedIn and Indeed, all those places, just for something that was going to be more normal, as I described it at the time, and something that would allow me to spend time with my family. My husband's got 3 kids, and I was missing out on all of that really special time. And that's when I saw the job for Avon, and I applied on a bit of a whim, not really knowing what I was applying for, other than the fact I saw it said Monday to Friday 9 to 5, and I was like, sold. So I applied for it, and that was sort of it, really. I remember having the first conversation with sort of our HR team, and went up to our head office for my interview. And from the minute I walked into head office, I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like, I loved it. The people were great. The office was amazing. We had all of our products everywhere and all of our branding, and it was amazing. And I walked away from that interview going, I don't care if I get this job or not. I want to be an Avon rep. And I signed up to become a rep that night.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And what was your first role?
My first role was a business development manager, which meant that I looked after a group of representatives and leaders within a specific geographical area. So the area that I looked after at the time was Portsmouth, Guildford on the south coast, and then the Isle of Wight and the Channel Islands. So quite a hefty area at the time, yeah. But it was going into COVID, so I didn't really at that point have the opportunity to go out and meet with the leaders and stuff that I was looking after. But so all the relationships I built were at that time were online. And then in the August of 2021, I think it was, is when I moved into the training team as a trainer.
Right. And have you had various different roles, or have you always had the same role?
Within Avon, or?
No, in the training team.
In the training team, yeah. So I started as a trainer for representatives. That was like where I wanted to be. That was my passion. It was all about product, all about helping representatives to grow their business and achieve their goals. And I did that for about 15 months or so. And then after I got married in 2022, I was approached by Sara, who is our training manager for the UK, and she said that she wanted to see how I felt about moving into the sales leadership training role. And at the time I was like, absolutely not. That's not for me. I don't know anything about leadership. I'm a rep girl. But I was really nervous about doing it because it wasn't something that I specialized in. I didn't really know a huge amount about it. And I'm one of those people that when I'm comfortable, I'm comfortable. When I'm good at something, I want to just stay where I am. And I'm like, this is my bubble, don't make me leave. But I did, and I went into the sales leadership team, and actually it was probably one of the best things that I ever did because I learned so much more about the business. I met so many more people, and it built my profile as well. So then I did that until in the sales leadership team until probably November last year, so about a year. And then I was promoted to training manager for representatives, which is what I do now.
Right, okay, yeah, because I know I think it's really interesting when you join Avon, and one of the reasons why we wanted to do this interview series is because when you're a rep and you're new starting, you kind of don't know who everybody is or what their roles are. And, you know, I'd kind of watched your lives because I think I came in about September 2022. Obviously, Amy's been in a lot longer than myself. And I had quite a bit of some dealings with you last year because of conference. And I must say, you were fantastic and really put me at ease completely.
Aww.
So thank you for that. So, but yeah, I think it's really, really interesting. So how are you finding this new role now that you're in?
Yeah, I mean, it's really good. It's really good. I think the thing with training, especially when you're training representatives, is it's very hands-on with product, and that's what I love. So the more I can be involved with our products, I'm going to be happy. But also what I've found from being in the training role, not just the training manager role, but training generally, is that the relationships that you build with representatives and the opportunities that we can offer representatives to build their own profile and do things and step out of their comfort zone is so rewarding for me. And I think back to when I was a trainer in the rep team in 2021, and I had that relationship with so many people. When you have those people that are so engaged with training, and that the relationship is the main reason for that. And that's where training trendsetters at the time came from, because we knew that there was reps out there who were brilliant and had a lot of experience and opportunity to share what they do, but they didn't have the platform to be able to do it, which is why we built Training Trendsetters, which then went on to be the Global Training Ambassador Program, which obviously you guys are part of. But I think the biggest thing for me is having that relationship with you guys and the rest of the rep community, and really hearing from you what you need. And we can then work from that and build training and build programs that will support you in what it is that you really need, rather than just sitting in an office behind a desk and putting things out there that aren't going to be relevant and aren't going to support. I think the relationship is the key for my role, and that's why I love it so much.
Even having that official Facebook reps group, for anybody watching who might not necessarily be in that group, the questions that come in there daily, it's really interesting. You know, like when myself and Amy became training ambassadors at the beginning of the year, we were like, my gosh, look at all these questions, you know. But it and that does help provide, you know, be able to build the content, doesn't it? To see maybe
definitely
what's missing, because the training academy is phenomenal. So as a trainer, the pathway for new reps, where should they start? What would you say?
This is a hard one because we have so many platforms and so many different places that reps can go. And I think if anyone who is listening is a new rep, and if you feel potentially a bit overwhelmed, then please don't worry, because you're not going to be alone. And I think the most important thing for any new rep joining Avon, the most important place to go is somewhere where you've got a community of other representatives who are going to be willing to help you. And we've got a rep Facebook group, which is called the Superstar Kickstarters, which is run by Lucy Chenery, who is
fabulous.
She really is fabulous. And she's recently started in a new role where she's looking after new representatives and supporting them on the beginning of their journey. And that Facebook group is solely for new representatives. So that's going to be the place where you can ask those questions that you wouldn't necessarily want to ask on a community with 30,000 people, but that's a small, tight-knit community of people who are going to be in the same or a very similar position to what you are in. And it's a really great place to get that support, ask those questions, and feel really, really comfortable. So that would be my first place to go. Is that Superstar Kickstarters group for sure.
Yeah, she did a live the other day. She was really good, wasn't she? You know, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of training ambassadors in there as well. So even if Lucy's busy, and there's a lot, even not training ambassadors, there's quite a few other people in there with some knowledge who are prepared to help and share and answer questions. Would you not agree, Amy?
Yeah, and it's also such a positive group as well. Like everyone's cheerleading everyone else. It's really lovely, really, really lovely to see. And it's full of ideas. And I mean, I've even picked up on ideas myself in there as well. So we're all learning off each other in that group for sure. But no, it's a really, really great group.
So they've joined
Great.
Kickstarter Superstar. Is that your door? Is that your delivery come?
I'm going to
They joined Superstar Kickstarters. Now, when people do join these groups, they are normally asked a couple of membership questions, aren't they? They're normally asked maybe like, what's your rep number, and maybe provide a store link, which is completely normal within all of them, because there's quite a few official kind of there's a big group, isn't there, which is called official Avon official reps. But even if you are experienced but you still want help, you can still go in and ask for it, or you might have had some time out, or you might have started again, or you just might not be sure of something. But these groups, that's what they're there for, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I mean, I've only been with Avon for 4 and a bit years, and so the changes that I've seen in just that short space of time is a lot. So you never have to worry about not knowing something or asking a question, because we are one big community. And it sounds really like cliche, but it's true that everyone is in there to support each other, and everyone is on a path to grow their business, whether that be in one way or another. So yeah, the official Facebook group, you'll always get your question answered. Even if you don't want to ask it, someone else will. It's one of those things. It'll always get asked, and they're run by us as employees, but also reps and leaders who are out there experiencing it day to day for themselves. And that's really, really key as well, that we've got you guys supporting us to run that, so those questions can be answered from the point of view of a rep as well.
Yeah. And I'd just say, if you are new in these groups and you're thinking of asking a question, sometimes it's worth searching it, because sometimes that question, you could have joined, but the question could have been answered the day before. So people might think, oh, my post's getting declined, but it could be that it's a repetitive question and it might be getting answered sort of weekly, mightn't it?
Yes.
So, but yeah, there's lots and lots of different groups for reps, for leaders, for new starters. There's so much. But talk a little bit more about the Training Academy, because this is relatively new, this particular platform, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We only launched it this year, and it's really exciting because we've invested not just money but time into this platform by asking our reps what is it you want to see from our training platform? What do you want to get out of it? And we're working with an external company called Thrive, who are a pioneer when it comes to online training platforms. And we're working with them to create a bespoke platform for Avon, which is our new Avon Academy platform. And when you log into there for the first time, it might ask you some questions like, what are you looking to learn? What sort of things are you interested in learning? And that could be things like attraction marketing, best-selling products, growing my business, becoming a leader. And you can input as many of those different things as you like. And the great thing with that is that everything that you put in, the platform will then tailor the content that you see based on the way you answer those questions. And you can find so much on that platform. And again, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So I suggest using the search bar to find what it is that you're actually looking for. If it's, how do I do a return, or how do I use my digital brochure? If you just search for that, it will bring up the content that will answer that for you. But there are 2 areas within that platform that I think are the fundamentally most important for any rep, whether you've been here for 5 minutes or 5 years. And the first one is your monthly toolkit, which I am
This
so passionate
month,
about, because I look after that. Like, that is my little baby, right?
this
And
month, something's happened and it is incredible.
so good, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's so much content on there. And the great thing about the monthly toolkit is it gives you everything that you need to know about this month. So it's all of the products, all of the information, all of the training that's going to help you this month. So whether that be any new products that are coming out, we'll give you all of the information about that product. Anything that's going to be relevant, like any incentives or any competitions that are running, you'll find all of that information in the monthly toolkit, and it's on your homepage. It's really easy to find, and it's updated at the beginning of every month. So that's a great place to start.
I was blown away when I looked at that the other day. Really good.
Good. There's lots in there. There is a lot, but it's all going to support you with reaching out to customers and knowing about products that you're going to be selling this particular month. And we never delete content from there either. So you can go back and look at last month and the month before, so that will help you to, if there's anything that a customer asked about a product that came out a few months ago, you can easily find it in your monthly toolkit, which is great. You've also got your beauty advisor training. And again, this is something that's quite new for us at Avon, and it's something that we haven't really done before. And I'm sure you've probably spoken about it or will speak about it on your channel at some point. But the beauty advisor training really is all the fundamental part of beauty advisor is about building confidence. And that's the biggest thing that we've wanted to achieve and have achieved with rolling out beauty advisor, is supporting representatives to feel more confident in using product, talking about product, and selling product ultimately. So whether it be that you want to learn more about how to find the right skincare products, how to apply makeup, even how to have conversations with customers about what products are going to be the right ones for them and their needs, your beauty advisor training is going to be the place to start. It's going to give you everything.
The thing I love about the whole academy is that if you're out and somebody asks you a question and they might want something quite targeted. So for example, if somebody, even the website does help, you know, even if somebody says, I need help with pigmentation, and your brain just thinks, I don't know what to recommend, you can just type that into the search bar and something comes up. A keyword comes up, you know. So if somebody wants something and they were asking you a question about collagen, you can just type in collagen in the search bar and something comes up. So it is very informative. And if you love product or you want to learn more about it, it is the perfect place to go. There's honestly, my mind, again, it absolutely blown away by the amount of free training, which is what it is, you know, that you're giving people. And the other thing that I love, sorry to interrupt, about the academy is like when I'm cooking the tea of a night, or I'm just doing something, or when you're working on your own of a day, I think, you know, when you're listening, I think I'll just I go in there and just type in podcast, or I'll type in, you know, the latest videos, whatever I might have missed this week. And you feel like you've got a team, you feel like you've got people supporting you and helping you. So if you do feel a bit of a loss or on your own, or maybe you don't have an upline, or your upline might work, you know, you don't have somebody to reach out to, it is like having all these little friends that you didn't know you had to listen to. I love it for that. I think it's really good.
Yeah, that's why we do everything like live and on a call, because you get that communication and community from it that you wouldn't get just from, you know, just sharing a document or something. That's why we do all of our training calls as live calls, because we want people to come on and interact with us and ask those questions, because when someone's listening back, that could be the same question that they were thinking as well.
Yeah. So pathway is really try and find where you fit in a Facebook group, whether you're just starting in the Kickstarters, or maybe you want to look for a leadership group, you know, and you can, if you're stuck and you can't find these groups, you can always reach out to myself and Amy. We've got an email address, which is thevirtualbeautybar@gmail.com. Or you can pop a comment in the comment section below, or I'm sure you can reach out. You can find any of us on social media. We're very easy to find, and we can always point you in the right direction. But I would say the first, and also it's really accessible on your phone as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the on app, everything's just so accessible there. So is there anything else you think, or do you think Facebook groups and academy?
I think they're going to be your best bets. I mean, you've got Avon On as well, which houses like all of your account information, like your digital brochure. So that's going to be like a fundamental place to start. But my advice is to not overwhelm yourself with trying to be everywhere, because it can be overwhelming. And I think that's the thing that you want to try and avoid where you can, is find your people, reach out to your upline, speak to them, get involved with their community, their group that they've built, and then spend some time just looking at what you want to get out of your business. What do you want to build? What skills do you want to build? What do you want to earn? What are your goals? And then you can tailor your path based on Avon Academy or different Facebook groups, depending on what it is that you want out of it.
Perfect.
Perfect. I think those are really good suggestions. Sorry, I know I had to go, but I was like earwigging as I was going along. And yeah, I'm a massive fan of the Training Academy too. It's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So we get ready with Terrie. This is the other way that people might recognise you. So yes, this is the official Reps Facebook page. So tell us about that. How did it start, and what is it for anyone that hasn't seen it so far?
So Get Ready with Terrie started, it was a few years ago now, when I was in the rep training team. So probably must be 2021 that we first started doing that, maybe early 2022. But we were doing a lot of product training where we were talking about product and sharing like features and benefits and of different products. And the thing that we were getting asked for was, how do I use it? How do I apply my foundation? How do I don't know, how do I make my lipstick look great? How do I contour? How do I use blusher? All of these products that we weren't answering that question of how do I use it. So the first sort of time that I would go live in the Facebook group or on Avon Academy now, and I will effectively just do my morning makeup routine or my skincare routine, whatever routine it is. And I will do it on camera live whilst I've got people watching, and they can answer questions, ask their questions, and I can just talk through what products I'm using and how I'm using them and how I'm applying them. And it's something that I absolutely love to do more than anything, but I've the confidence that I've seen from other representatives who go, oh, that looks really easy to do, I can do that. Or I never thought about using a lipstick as a blusher, or using a concealer stick to contour. All these little like tips and tricks that you don't necessarily know or think about, they're the sorts of things that you may not think are necessarily acceptable in the makeup world, but actually they are. Like, we all do things like that. And yeah, I think for me, like I said, product is my passion, and I've always been interested in like beauty and makeup and stuff. And don't get me wrong, I'm no professional, but I know my way around a makeup brush. So I think it's just a case of showing other people that I'm not a professional, I'm not perfect, but this is what I do and this is how it comes out. And they always seem to go really well. I think mixing it up, trying different products, trying different looks and styles every week or every other week has been really, really rewarding for reps to see this is what product looks like on a person.
And I think it's like that for all parts of the business as well, isn't it? You know, you start off thinking, oh, I'm not very good at that. You know, I know when I did my first recruitment fair, I just couldn't find the words. You know, couldn't find the words to do. And it's a bit like that when you pick up a glimmer stick and you're like,
yeah,
do. And then, you know, somebody shows you and you kind of go, well, I'll have a little practice and I'll do it again and I'll do it again. So, you know, that's kind of it's the duplication, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there's probably a lot of people that aren't exposed to seeing makeup tutorials. You know, they might never have really, you know, they might never have been on YouTube and watched it, or they're not in that sort of influencer area and zone. They're probably not seeing it. So it's quite nice that people get that opportunity to say, well, how do you do it? And as me and Amy are finding with this YouTube journey, is that we don't do anything the same, do we? We thought we did. Honestly.
Absolutely not. Probably, yeah, all the same, but we do it in a very different way on how to get there. So
yeah. I heard this really funny phrase the other day. It was one of the sales leaders at the top, and he said it's a bit like sales leadership is a bit like making a cottage pie. If you ask 4 people how to do it, they'll all make it differently. And I thought it's really true that.
True, yeah.
I suppose it's the same with makeup, isn't it? You know, like
absolutely.
if you
Yeah,
give
and I get that a
everybody.
lot. where people go, oh, I do this, but I think I'm doing it wrong. It's like, no, you're not doing it wrong. Just maybe the way you're doing it isn't quite right for your skin type or whatever. But that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong, because there is no right or wrong way to apply a makeup product, or there's no right way to create a smoky eye or wear a red lip. It's all about the way that works for you. And I'm very passionate about that. Like, the amount of times I've put on I've done my makeup and someone goes, oh, I put my bronzer on before my blusher, or I do my concealer after this, or I put my eyeshadow on first and then my foundation, not the other way around. Does that mean I'm doing it wrong? No, it just means that you're doing it differently to me. But the outcome is still the same. You still have a full face of makeup on at the end. So it doesn't matter in what order you do it, as long as it works for you, then that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I mean, I love skincare, and I don't really know an awful lot about makeup, and I feel like I'm trying and experimenting more. And I've learned so much off Tom Fraser from when we did the that first cohort of beauty advisors, the first year it was launched, and a few other events that he's been at, the conference this year, and he's just so good with his time, just having a little chat with you, and just sometimes it's like little tips, and you think, is that it?
Yeah.
Like, is it that simple? And he's like, yeah, it's that simple. And you're like, well, I've been overthinking this totally.
Yeah, 100%.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
We've got to ask you, haven't we?
We
Favorite.
have.
Favorites.
Oh, you're not going to ask me my favorite
We're
product.
going to make you pick your favorite.
What's
That
your
is
favorite?
the hardest question. The hardest
Favorite.
question. Do you want just my favorite ever, or
I
from
think we've got to start with favorite makeup products.
Okay, so my favorite makeup product, what do I use every single day without fail? Probably my Legendary Lengths mascara.
What colour?
Is the Blackest Black. I mean, for context, I have 3 right here because I use them every single day. And it's the one product that I will not substitute for anything else. I love it.
Have you tried the new curl one? Have you tried that in the yellow box?
I have, and I'm actually wearing that now because I tried it earlier.
Yeah.
And I love it. But Legendary Lengths is always going to be my favorite. Always.
So skincare, what's your favorite skincare product?
Power Serum, without shadow of a doubt, is Power Serum. That is my favorite skincare product. I mean, I have quite a few which I love, but again, that's something that I won't substitute or change from. I love it. And I mean, I love the whole Power Trio. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
The innovation in that is just incredible, and I absolutely love it.
Perfect. Fragrance?
I've got that with the serum. It's great.
Yeah, you can't beat it.
No.
Fragrance. That's tough. Really tough, because I have a few favorites and they do chop and change, but probably at the moment my favorite is Today, Tomorrow, Always Everlasting is my favorite. It's a really summer fragrance, but I also Beyond the Moon, Far Away Beyond the Moon is definitely a favorite as well. And we had another one which I think we've discontinued now.
Don't say Timeless, for God's sake.
No, it's not. I don't actually, do you know what? I don't think I've ever smelt that. I'll be honest.
I don't think I have.
No, it's not one of, and everyone talks about it and raves about it, but I don't think I've ever smelt it.
So we're not getting a heads up or anything about Timeless.
No, I have no idea on that one, unfortunately. I wish I did, but I don't. But it was an Eve one. I think it was Eve Embrace in the pinky colour bottle. I loved that fragrance. We don't do it anymore. And I think I've got a tiny bit left. I loved it.
Have you got any other favourites, Amy, that you want to know?
Those two are my literally 2 favourite fragrances as well. TTA Everlasting and Far Away Beyond the Moon. They are literally my go-to. So yeah, totally on that with you. So what is the best advice you've ever been given, whether it's in the Avon world or in general? What would you say is the best advice?
The best advice I've ever been given? Oh, that's tough. Probably to always be unapologetically me, because when I was younger and going through like high school and all that stuff, I tried so hard to be what everyone else wanted me to be. Like I tried to fit in, I tried to be popular, and I tried so hard to be what everyone else wanted me to be. And I think I stuck with that for a long time. And it wasn't until coming to Avon that I realized that I can be unapologetically myself, because you're surrounded by so many incredible people that are also unapologetically themselves. And I think that's probably the best advice I've ever been given, because it means that I'm content in who I am, making it easier and better for me to do my job.
And I think you're right, a lot of people come into the business seeing people doing phenomenally well and thinking they have to replicate that, or they have to do it within a certain time, or they feel pressured, whereas really the only pressure is what you put on yourself, isn't it?
100%. Yeah, for sure.
Great. So what advice would you give somebody else starting Avon? So if somebody's starting Avon and you had to give us your words of wisdom, what would you be telling them?
The biggest thing that made me love Avon and have a passion for it and share that passion with other people, both as a rep and as an employed person, is get to know the products and find your favorites. Because for me, if someone said to me now, could you recommend me a MAC lipstick? I'd go, no, because I don't know any of them. And for me, the biggest thing is that when you're talking to people about products that you're selling or products that you're passionate about, if you don't know about those products and you don't have one that you go, this is my favorite, this is why I love it, then people aren't going to buy into that and buy into you. So even if it's just a case of knowing and having a few that you know and love, I mean, you're not going to love every single product. Nobody does. But you're going to find your product. We have so many that you're going to find products that you love. So my biggest advice is find the products that you love, share with people why you love them, but be unapologetically you, because we see a lot of representatives who don't share their story or don't talk about product in the way that they're almost they're worried that their eyeshadow doesn't look as good as somebody else's, or their eyelashes aren't as long as somebody else's, or whatever. But your customers and your friends and your family and the people that shop with you are shopping with you because of you and for no other reason than you. So you need to be unapologetically you, because they're the people that want to see you, nobody else.
Yeah. And I think, when you do start giving the books out and getting orders in and you start seeing products, I know I didn't really know much about glimmer sticks, I'll be honest with you, when I started. And I'm thinking, what's all this about? I need to have a good read of the book about this, and what colours do they come in and how do you use them? And I think you can't learn everything in a week, because there's hundreds and hundreds of products that are coming in, they're going out. There is so many. And I think it's good advice is to find your favorites and to try. And whether you've got the big power kit, if people have joined.
I was just going to talk about that. Yeah, so when you join, you can choose whether you want to buy a big power kit, which is this one up here, or you can buy a smaller one with just a lipstick in. And I absolutely recommend going for this one. It's £39, but you get over £110 worth of product, and they're all of our like best-selling products. So you're going to find something in there that you love, because there are best sellers. There are ones that our customers come back to time and time again. So you can pretty much guarantee that there'll be something in there that you love. And when you move the product out of the box, there's a little fact about each product behind it. So you can learn about the product as well, while still finding if they're going to be the right one for you. So definitely that's what I would recommend.
Do you know what me and Amy love about the Power Pack?
What?
The QR code.
Oh, I love that QR code. It's great, isn't it?
Honestly, how I didn't see that for ages. And we were scanning it, weren't we? And we were like, look at this. And there's a lovely message from Christoph on there, and there's all the guides, you know, it takes you straight to it. It's got everything you really need there. So I know it's really good, isn't it? I think we were talking about it yesterday or the day before, weren't we? We were
Yeah.
like, we need to do a video about this. More people need to know. Yeah. Brilliant. So our last question we've got before we wrap up, we really appreciate your time today. Terrie, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your words of wisdom.
You're so welcome.
But we'd love to know what you feel is your biggest achievement with Avon.
Oh, okay. I have a couple, I think.
Go on then, tell us all of them.
The first one is, it's a bit strange because it was a massive achievement for me, but it actually didn't work out in the end. So it was back in, I want to say 2021 or 2022, 2022, early 2022. And I was invited onto a call with Sara at the time, who is the training manager, my manager, Dave, who, if you haven't met yet, I'm sure you will. He'll be straight on the podcast. And Sam, who is the global training manager. And I was called into this call without warning. And I went onto that call and I was like, oh my God, what have I done? I thought I was in trouble. But I wasn't in trouble. At that time, I'd actually been invited to participate in a global project, which was a Natura global project. So it wasn't just Avon, it was Natura. And it was alongside the Body Shop, Aesop, Avon. What was the other one? Who was the other one? Natura, obviously. Natura. So the four of us as brands, where I was invited to participate in a global project, which was called Imagine & Co. And it was all about creating a future for us as a brand. And the first event was due to take place in Brazil at Natura's head office. Yeah. In Sao Paulo. So that was an incredible achievement. Unfortunately, I never got to go. They had to cancel the trip because of the war in Europe. So it was cancelled, unfortunately. But to even be invited to participate in that was incredible. Absolutely amazing. The second one, which probably won't surprise you, is working alongside Sara Davies at the moment for the Avon Life series.
We thought you were going to say that. We love it.
That is an incredible achievement for me. Not just because of who she is, I mean, which we know is incredible. She's on Dragon's Den, she's an entrepreneur, she's phenomenal. But the way that's changed the way in which I work, the platform that it's given me, the opportunities that it's given me has been incredible. Like working with her at conference, going up to her office, working with her, being on her Instagram and things like that is amazing. And that's something that I will be forever grateful for.
Well, it doesn't sound like it's finishing anytime just yet.
It's not. We're going until October at the moment, but whether that will continue or not at this point, I don't know. All I can say is I hope so.
Well, I hope you let her know that this YouTube channel is a result of her telling us at conference to get an accountability partner, because that's kind of what we did. And also when she sent us away to do some homework on shopping channels and, you know, this kind of thing, we kind of thought, let's just have a go, let's do something different. So, you know, she's our inspiration too. We were very fortunate both to win lunch with her. Yes. Which was another reason how me and Amy sort of got forced together. And Amy said to me, can I sit with you? Because I don't know anyone else.
And what a great lunch that was, to be fair. It was amazing.
It was really great. I mean, yeah, she was our inspiration / to blame, I suppose, for this YouTube channel. But yeah, that was like literally the second time we met with lunch with her, and it was just out of this world. It was incredible. So one of the best highlights I've personally ever had with Avon. So yeah, for sure.
We're not jealous at all of you going to Crafters Companion.
No, I mean,
tell us a little bit about that studio. Come on, give us a bit of behind the scenes. What was it like?
So do you know what? When I first got there, I mean, it's just like an office on an industrial estate. It's not the most exciting thing from the outside. But when you go in, you can feel the buzz and the energy and the love from her entire team. They just want to be there. And I think that's really, really important. But the studio, she has two. So two next to each other. I've only worked in the one, but they're basically set up for her QVC style shopping. So they're very Sara, they're very Crafter's Companion. But it was weird. Like when we did the first masterclass, when I went to her head office, the first one, I didn't really know what to expect. I thought we would just have like a bit like we are now, like on a laptop, just sat together presenting. Oh no, TV, camera crew, microphoned up. I was like, this is not what I expected. But she has a full team of like camera crew who work in there. And she set it up as if it was QVC. And you could tell from that she was passionate about Avon and she wanted to do it right. And it's very rare that you can say that you work with somebody, like a brand works with someone who actually, yes, she's being paid to do it, but actually she wants to do it. She wants to come on and she wants to share her experience. Like when we originally looked at season 2 of the masterclasses, we said we would do 2 live, 4 pre-recorded. And she was like, no, they're all going to be live because I want to be there. I want to have those conversations with them. I want that interaction because that's where the passion and the energy comes from. And that's come from her. That's not come from us.
So Terrie, if anyone's watching and they either are an Avon rep and are not aware of this, or they're not an Avon rep and they're thinking of joining, tell people how much this costs to be mentored by her.
Well, the problem is it's a big investment
No, I don't mean you. I mean, how much
I mean for a
pay?
rep, it is a big investment of absolutely nothing. It is free training, but the only thing that you need to invest is your time. And the time that you invest is so valuable because the return on that investment, I mean, you guys created this YouTube channel off the back of it. The return of that investment is massive, and it's money can't buy it. It really can't.
Yeah.
Nice.
Honestly, I think it's incredible, you know, and the fact that we're getting like season 2 of it and the opportunities for us to learn. And, you know, she does kind of go into these Facebook groups that we're in. She is looking at what we're doing. She is meeting reps. She is talking to them. She's listening to them. She's helping everybody. She's giving people ideas. And, you know, for a lot of people, they would never get this opportunity.
Never.
So it's wonderful. So from all the reps, myself and Amy, we'd just like to say, you know, we are very, very grateful for the opportunity because it's fantastic and we really do love it. We really do. Amy,
there is more to come
as well, didn't you? You got
what have I done with my book? Hang on.
She's got a signed book, but you know what? We both got the audio book and listened to it at the same time, didn't we?
I listened to the audio book too.
So the kids don't pay. That's what I've done.
I love having it in my ears and listening to her talk, and it's really.
You feel like she's there with you, don't you? When it's audio.
Perfect. So yeah, Amy, you'll never find it. You'll never find it. Come back.
I put it in a safe place so the kids don't get it, but I put it safe. I've moved my house around recently, and it's somewhere safe, I promise. But yes,
I believe you.
Here it is. It's right in front of me. And
there we go.
There we go. There we go. Got a little signature. So yes, so there it is. Safe place right in front of me.
And there's a lot more to come with Sara as well, which is nice.
So that's fantastic. So Terrie, thank you so much for joining us today and telling us your Avon story and also a little bit more about your job, what you do, what you've done in the past, and how the trainers, because there's not just you, is there? There's loads. How many's in the training team?
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the training team altogether.
And then we have the business development specialists as well, the BDSs who help the leaders. So there's a lot of people behind the scenes. Don't think people realise how big it is.
Yeah, it's massive. And we're all here to support. That's ultimately our job role. And we all have the same job role. We're here to support you guys, ultimately.
Perfect. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today. Like I said before, if you've got any questions or if anything surprised you today or some of Terrie's wisdom, especially the be unapologetically you, I really like that. You know, please feel free to comment in the captions below. Or, you know, if you've got any questions and we'd like us to pass them on to Terrie, please feel free to email us at thevirtualbeautybar@gmail.com. So thank you very much, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.